why you see Blohan taking a little bit longer here, because he's sort of been changing his deck based on the specifics of the opposing deck, along with making some play draw decisions.
All right. Looks like players are set here. Taking a look at their opening hands, Josh has a 1-land Needle Spires opener here. And typically you'll see them with a lot of castable spells if they can get another land, but it looks pretty risky. On the bottom side, things look okay here for Lucas Blohan. Not a particularly quick hand with 3 drops and a 4, but he does have 3 mana and his colors all set.
Yeah, I think this is a tough hand for Josh to keep. Now, he is on the draw with a lot of 2s, so that's a way you can talk yourself into keeping this hand. But the hand has enough 3s and no black mana to pair with some of these cards that I would err towards mulliganing, and it looks like Josh did the same.
He did, yeah. He's got a double Concealed Courtyard and a Scrap Heap Scrounger into a Thalia and a Gideon if he can get his land drops lined up. That could get the job done.
This hand obviously has a high fail rate too if he just misses land drops, but I think this is much better than the opening 7 he mulliganed.
Okay, Servant of the Conduit right on time here for Lucas Blohan is his turn 2 play. Yeah, those Gideons are traveling in packs today, aren't they? He's got 3 of them in hand again for Josh Utter-Leyton.
Yeah, Gideon flooded once again.
Yeah, crazy. And other side of the battlefield, now Lucas Blohan has to make a decision on how he wants to proceed. It looks pretty obvious here. He's got an Attune with Ether to keep his mana flowing, and then he can use his Servant of the Conduit for mana to cast his Rogue Refiner.
Yeah, I think the question was just, what land does he want to dial up here?
What is going on here, Patrick?
Yeah. Quads? It's the full.
We got all of them.
That's all.
There ain't no more. There's a Thalia Heretic Cathar. The good news for Josh Utter-Leyton is that the 2 pairs of Release the Gremlins in hand from Lucas don't have any great targets, just the Scrap Heap Scrounger. The bad news for him is that he's somehow just fallen behind on board.
The bad news for him is his hand. His hand
is
really
horrific. Oh,
that's the bad news.
Oh, he found an immediate replacement Thalia Heretic Cathar.
I mean, this is not a bad board for a 3-power first striker, but you still can't feel great about the rest of your hand in this spot.
No. Felidar Guardian is going to repeat what we saw last turn, which is Oath of Chandra killing Thalia Heretic Cathar.
And now at this point, it's Blohan is so far ahead on the board that these Gideons, you can't make a knight and get to the next turn before we even talk about the Release the Gremlins that are in Blohan's hand.
Well, Josh at least hit an untapped land here, so he can start to play Gideons, but like you said, they don't look very good.
Yeah, he can't. He's not really in a position to protect these Gideons. So this is going to be a tough way to do it.
Well, he has no choice, runs it out, makes a knight, passes to turn back. And another Rogue Refiner for Lucas Blohan. He's just valuing out here. Here's the Oath of Nissa off the top to keep it rolling, and it just feels like every card that Lucas plays replaces itself or nets him another card worth of value. 2 Rogue Refiners, a Felidar Guardian that blinked, and he just keeps rolling on here. And once again, you said it, Patrick, it looks like Josh just is not in a position to play defense, and Lucas Blohan is just going to jam with his 3 non-summoning set creatures here.
Yeah, I mean, the Gideon amounts to kill a 3/2 and kill a 2/2 and gain 5. Not what you have in mind with that card.
Yeah, he's got a lot more where that came from as well. What are the types of cards that Josh wants to see now? You normally think of Gideon as being kind of their top end, their best play, but as we've proven here on this board state, Gideon doesn't look super great. Is there anything in his deck that he actually wants to see off the top at this point?
It's really tough because he can't really cast Archangel Avacyn. He doesn't have 5 mana. His Painful Truth he can't really cast because he can't take that much damage and then also make plays. A lot of his other cards are lower impact 1-for-1s, removal spells that don't really catch him up here. And any card that he draws is his whole turn because he either casts Gideon or he casts whatever spell he draws. It makes it really tough.
Yeah, this just looks like a really tough spot here for Josh. And of course, knowing what we know, cards like this, Heart of Kirin, don't do much work here either, as Release the Gremlins ×2 in hand for Lucas Blohan is just waiting in the wings. So,
right, and now that Oath of Nissa showed us a Healy Ride, so Blowhunt has the kill on the table, so Josh now gets the decision of tap out to Gideon and die on the table, or keep up appearances by saying go, I guess, and losing to the creatures on the battlefield. It's a really tough squeeze.
He's going to play a Heart of Kirin.
And he can't even represent Fatal Push because he has no outlet for Revolt.
Yeah. Also, I think Lucas has keyed into the fact that Josh might be taking out those Fatal Pushes as well.
Right. But again, Blowhunt is again in the spot where he's so far ahead that he has to risk nothing. He can just do this and have the combo as backup. Get that Guardian in there.
Get that Guardian in there. Get him in. We're both thinking the same thing.
Get that Guardian in there. You're not blocking on the way back. Get that point in.
Yeah. He got it. Good cat.
I liked blocking the turn before, but I was hoping, it's a good spot for the 1/4 to get in.
Oh, man, I was thinking the exact same thing. That's really fun. All right, Scrap Thief Scrounger comes back, but this one's academic at this point. Josh Utter-Leyton simply too far behind, not able to deploy enough threats, and drawing 4 copies of Gideon Ally Zendikar. It just did not come together for him this game. And that means that in a turn here, Lucas is going to even things up and force a Game 3 here in the second match. And that could be the one that decides who our Magic Online champion is if Lucas were to win it.
And again, Josh trying to keep up appearances here by leaving up Unlicensed Disintegration mana and not casting one of the Gideons, but Blowhunt can simply win with what he has on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's less convincing when your opponent has onboard lethal, isn't it? All right, that's going to do it for game number 2, and we're going to go back once again.